in this video you are going to learn the basic of Adobe Illustrator, what all tools are there in Adobe Illustrator, what kind of brushes are used in Adobe Illustrator, and much more. So I hope this will be helpful for you, for all these beginners who are just starting to learn Adobe Illustrator and are confused of what to do. So I'm going to present you with simple tips and tricks that will be helpful for you to use Adobe Illustrator. So let's get started with this. Basically, Adobe Illustrator. So I'm going to teach you guys Adobe Illustrator in this video, but there are many applications apart from Adobe which is really good. You should try Adobe Sketch whenever you get some time. It is really nice and has got some good brushes. So starting to create your new one, so you have to click this plus sign over here, which is basically create, and you can create your own format whichever you want. It can be an iPad Pro, portrait, landscape. It will be either working on a normal tablet or in a phone, so you can use it in any devices basically, but it will be good if you are going to use it in a tablet rather than phone, because phone has a small screen and you won't be able to do it. So regarding this thing, I basically use iPad portrait mode because obviously I need this much. But if you are drawing some like 6-7 figures, and obviously if you needed something like this to draw the whole, then you should go for landscape. But I still prefer portrait for that also, because I can just draw each person or 2 to 3 person in one portrait and then different portrait, and then I can attach it in later in Photoshop. So that I can do. Regarding this, basically you have to click this iPad portrait and then there's this new screen appears. Now what I have taught you guys earlier is basically the types of brush. So today I'm going to give you a basic short review about Adobe Illustrator and what all you can do with this. So here in Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Draw, you basically have 6 things, out of which 5 is like brushes and one is the eraser kind of a thing. So let's get started with the different types of brushes. Again, I have told you that there are 5 types of brushes that you can use in Adobe Illustrator, and basically these 5 brushes are basic round, basic taper, basic flat, basic chisel, and basic terminal. Now out of which the most commonly used in my kind of illustration, that is in fashion illustration, I use this basic taper. Now why I use this basic taper is because of the shape and because of how the shape is. The shape already looks like an eyebrow, an eye, so you can draw whatever shape you want in these. Also, before starting the drawing, I have to explain to you a little bit. So after clicking this taper brush, so you click now, so after clicking it, you have different options. In this you have basically can change the size of the brush. It can be a bigger one, it can be a smaller one. Now did you see, even though I have like did my brush to max size, still it's very thin. Why? It's because of the pressure that I'm applying. Now this is something which you should know if you are trying digitally. Like if you are trying digitally, even if it's in Wacom, even if it's in a tablet, even if it's in phone, that you need to apply a certain kind of pressure to achieve a certain kind of sketch. So if you want lips, if you know that lips is thicker in the top, right? The topmost part will be thick and the bottommost part will be thick, and the edge part will be thin, right? So the edge part will be thin like this. So you have to basically draw accordingly, otherwise it won't work. So this taper brush is really good to draw. I will show you how. But first, let's just get started with this. Okay, so this is the size that you can change. There's the opacity you can use, different opacity can be there, and this is the color that you can change. Now color, either you can use it from the wheel, or there is like a different option, that is RGB is there, and history, how many colors you have used in past, that. And there's a wheel. I prefer wheel because you have like different colors and you can basically choose from different set of colors. So that's something which is exciting about this thing. See, you can choose from different colors there. So there's another part where you can choose colors as themes. Now see, themes, you will get different colors. Like there are multiple colors actually, so you can use it from any colors. You will get it from here. If you're not getting it from here, if you want to make your own color, then you can use the picker one and you can choose which color do you like. Apart from this, most of the color will be available in this themes. My library will only works when there's an internet. So this is the thing. So this is basically a short details about the brushes that are used in the Adobe Draw. Then basically rest, this is basically a draw layer. You know obviously what the draw layer means, and I don't have to explain it to you, because if you are starting, basically duplicate means you have to double the layer, and that you can use it when you don't have to draw a lot. For example, if you want to if you have a dress with the details same, like the details are same in the whole dress, and obviously you shouldn't waste your time by doing it like each and every time you're drawing it again and again the same details. So what you can do is drawing a particular detail in a particular part, and then try duplicating it again and again and again, and then you can use the transform to transform it. I'll show you how next. So there's a delete where you can delete the layer, and there's opacity of the layers where you can choose, like after making a particular details, obviously you don't want the detail to outshine the outfit, so in that case you can have to lower the opacity. It can be 68, 80 and 58 or something, not less than 50, because otherwise the details will be very less, it won't be looking good. It can be used. Now regarding, there's another thing that is Adobe Draw, that is the shape thing, where you can use these shapes and figures, and you can make this comic creatures and comic creatures, and there's so many of this thing is there. You can actually use, you have to just double tap to create this layer has been created. See, it's so interesting. That is there, but I suppose this thing is more there this thing is more common in the Adobe Illustrating version, where you can basically Adobe Illustrator, that is another software where more like these kinds of shapes and size are available. So for all these comic cartoonists, or those who are like have work in this field, should go and try Adobe Illustrator Draw, which will be helpful for you. But for illustration, I don't think anything will be like needed. Even this comic thing is not needed, even this polygonal thing is not needed. For me, nothing is needed. Sometimes these lines are needed for me to draw certain specific details, but other than that, I don't use shapes a lot. This, you can hide the layers from this. This basically can be, you can either send it to your Adobe Desktop apps, where you can send it to your Behance. So that is one of the major advantage that you can do. You can actually send these files or send these image to Photoshop and then work on that later, what I used to do earlier. But now, since I'm having an iPad, I'm using it. So basically I first complete my work, and then I save it on this by saving it in image, and then further I work on Ibis Paint. I'll show you guys how, but before that, let's get started with the so this is basically everything that you should need to know. This is the like rotate canvas things and all those things that are there. Before ending this video about this short review of Adobe Illustrator, I would like to tell you guys the pressure. See, this is the thing which I absolutely love about Adobe Illustrator, and that's why I always use, and that is the pressure points is really good. The amount of pressure that you should apply is really good in Adobe Illustrator, and I absolutely love that. Now if you're talking about making eyebrows, see, I'll tell you one. I suppose I did this. Okay, so see how beautifully the eyebrows are drawn, how beautifully the eyes are drawn. So these are the things which I absolutely love by this taper brush. It's amazing. So this is the one important tip that you should know when you're starting digital illustration, is that basically you need to understand the amount of pressure that you're applying, because according to the pressure that is applied, see, according to the pressure that you'll apply, it will get more and more. See, now I'm not applying that much pressure. Now I'm not at all applying pressure. See, according to the pressure that you're going to apply, accordingly you have to make. See how this is important. If I'm saying is, obviously it is important if you're drawing lips, so you have to be very careful, because otherwise if I'm drawing, with that pressure only, see how the lips will come. But if I'm not drawing, and accordingly if I'm like doing, see how the lips are created. It's like it's been created beautifully, because I know that where this thing is, uh where this thing should be thicker and where this thing should be thinner. So accordingly you have to sketch, and accordingly you have to draw. Now that is something that you should know if you are using a double Illustrator, or actually any, even if you are not drawing, if you are like a mobile user and you have to use your hand, and in hand also you have to like think about applying pressure only. So according to the pressure that you are going to apply, the brushes changes. Okay, so but I don't like, so that's how you change this. So okay, so I started with my ears. Now what you should do, always know that this, you have a clavicle, you have a jawline, right? So since you guys have a jawline, always remember that there will be a cut here. So always remember. Now see, I have drawn this. Now I have already explained you how this duplicate can be used. The same here will be here also, obviously, right? So you can basically duplicate it, and then you can transform it by flipping it horizontal, and then not doing it here. See, so see how easy my work will be done if I'm like just, so have to adjust accordingly how your face will be. And if you want to make your face big, I want to make your face small, so accordingly you have to do it. See how easily this has done. So that's how you have to always do. Now regarding the thing, right? So always remember, you don't have to draw very very beautiful kind of illustration first in Adobe Illustrator, because most of the work will be done in ibis paint. It's just that the outline you have to draw, just because because it's a vector sketch. I will tell you guys the difference between a vector and a pixel illustration soon on my next video or something, but for now I'll explain to you. So do you know this jawbone is there, right? So jawbone is there, so you have to draw accordingly the jawbone, right? See the jawbone and how the face is made. See, no, you don't have to stress about, oh my god, the face doesn't look good or something, because at the end, after drawing everything, you can always edit it later in ibis paint. You can remove a bit of a thing which is extra, which you feel. So always start with drawing this. Now see, this thing is done. Now there's one more thing that is like stressing you out. Oh my god, how, obviously there's not this much of a gap, shouldn't be there, right? So what you can do for that, this much of a long face shouldn't be there, right? Oh my god. So you can just duplicate it again, and what you will do, I'll tell you, there's a secret that I do, and whenever I make mistakes like these, what I do is I erase them. I erase them because I want to make it small, right? So what I do, and see, it's a little dizzy, confusing, but obviously it's really helpful, kind of a tip that you can use. And see how I'm making a perfect face shape. At that time it was long, but I can make it short just by doing this. After it is done, you have to just merge it down, and this thing is made. So your face shape is made. If your face shape is oval, you have to draw accordingly. If your face shape is like, but mostly it is clavicle, but some clients will have, everyone has different face. For that you need to know the anatomy, which I will explain it to you in another video. But obviously this is the thing, if you have a round face, you have to draw like this. If you have an oval face, you have to draw like, if you have an oval face, you have to draw like this. If you have a rectangle face, So there are so many different types of faces that you have to use, but this is the most common facial structure that is there. That is, obviously the showing of jawbones and etc. So accordingly you have to make. Now, as I have already explained to you the horizontal things and all the stuff, please remember that, and always draw. Right now I don't need it because I got experienced with it a lot, so even if I like don't do that, it's okay. But for the first, since you're starting now, so you have to learn accordingly, right? So that is it. And that is Adobe Illustrator. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.